JBN, we keep you informed. Ghost gun that killed 7 still have police clueless after 9 years. Please remember to subscribe, like, share. Leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items. Its first known murder in Jamaica was committed 9 years ago. The last time the Jamaican police found evidence of its use was 4 years ago through spent shells found at the scene of a double murder in Portland. The 2 men killed in that incident are victims number 6 and 7 of this killing machine, according to police investigators, citing the result of ballistics test. The 7 murders linked to this mystery weapon are spread across 5 police divisions. The victims include a Portland native who had migrated to the Netherlands in search of a better life, and a Jamaica College JC Pass student who had vowed to take care of his grandmother so that she could enjoy her golden years. Apart from clues suggesting that it is a 9mm pistol, police investigators conceded that very little is known about the make and model of this killing machine, how it entered the island, or the murderers who have possession of it. It would be like one of those guns you'd call a ghost. It pops up at crime scenes and then it disappears, a senior investigator who requested not to be named because he was not authorized to speak about the case said. And it is still out there. It has not been located. The killings by this ghost gun have been linked through forensic analysis of spent shells found at the scene of each incident, the investigator disclosed. According to law enforcement sources, this supposed 9mm pistol is among more than 24 ghost guns being tracked by the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, because each has been linked to multiple murders across the island. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Strang said it was difficult to determine the number of ghost guns being tracked by the JCF, but insisted that his priority is getting them off the streets. The statistics on that I wouldn't seek because it doesn't carry a lot of weight. What carries weight is the gun and how many people it kills. So you know that particular gun, so you need to find it, Chang said. Over the last decade, Jamaica's recorded over 11,000 murders, 75% of which involved the use of illegal guns that continue to pour into the island. This particular mystery weapon was first found to be involved in the shooting death of Jermaine Mattis in the East Kingston community of Vineyard Town on November 10, 2011. After a non-fatal shooting in Kingston in February 2014, the gun was used repeatedly in 2016 to unleash terror on several families in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Mary, and Portland, investigators revealed. Oral Smell was the first victim that year. It was reportedly gunned down along Arnold Road in central Kingston on May 13. 25 days later, spent shells from the 9mm pistol turned up in Gale, St. Mary at the scene, where Robert Riley was shot dead on June 7. But the most gruesome incident came a little over 2 months later when 3 friends, Kenardo Hutchinson, O'Dane Abbott, 21, and Maurice Harris, 35, were sprayed with bullets during a brazen daylight attack by thugs on August 16. Abbott's grandmother, Dorothy Faye Brown, 71, could not hold back the tears as she recounted last Thursday how she watched from her veranda as the thugs burst into her yard on Lincoln Crescent in the South St. Andrew community of Arnett Gardens. She said her grandson, a past student of JC, had just handed her a bottle of water and was about to return to the game he was playing when me hear the gate kick. And me hear blow blow, said the elderly woman, tears welling up in her eyes as she imitated the sound of the gunfire. After the thugs made their escape, Faye Brown said she got up from her veranda and went to check on Hutchinson and Harris, unaware that her grandson was mortally wounded nearby. There has been no word from the police, she said, about a suspect or motive for the attack on her grandson who had vowed to take care of her. Him say, me granny, you said me go JC, you are my mother and now me get the work where me can help you. Me go buy your medication, me go throw your partner for you and give you a little money in your pocket, she shared of her beloved. Hassan Anderson, 43, who resided in the Netherlands, returned to his native Portland in September 2016 for a short visit when investigators believe he too became a victim of the ghost 9mm pistol. Anderson and other family members had reportedly just returned from a wake when he was shot to death by thugs who barged into his home in Drapers Heights. As they fled the house, The gunmen reportedly executed Leroy McCoy, 48, who was asleep in his car that was parked outside the gate. 4 years later, Anderson's brother Leroy, who was inside the house the night Anderson was killed, is still searching for answers. Me don't know how to feel. Me no want trans, so me no understand. Me just have to say life goes on, he said. The Portland double murder was the last time spent shells from the ghost gun have been retrieved at a crime scene, but investigators insist that they have not given up on their search to locate it. For some investigators, ghost guns are troubling telltale signs of increasing alliances being formed in the criminal underworld, even among gangsters who were blood enemies in the past. In most cases, it is believed that these bonds are formed in prison or based on the sharing of spoils from their nefarious activities. There are some guns that are affiliated with certain individuals or certain gangs, and depending on who get the contract for good masher work, you'll find the gun being used in different locations, said one crime fighter using the street slang for contract killings and robberies. Another explanation, according to the Minister of National Security, is that there are professional hitmen in Jamaica today. They will use the same firearms. Sometimes they'll use other firearms. That's a sad reality of life. The United States, US, long criticized for not doing enough to stem the flow of guns coming into Jamaica, has announced a new initiative that is aimed at identifying gun runners behind the shipment of weapons to the island. U.S. Ambassador Donald Tapia disclosed that as part of the measure, the Jamaican police are required to turn over to their American counterparts the serial number or other information about firearms taken from the streets of Jamaica. We can now track that back to the U.S. to find out who bought the gun. Was it transferred to somebody or was it stolen? Not only that, we might see that the same person is buying it for a gun running, the ambassador said during a discussion forum last month. Jamaica has recorded 704 homicides and nearly 650 shootings since the start of the year, figures that are marginally low when compared with the corresponding period last year. Terry Nichols, the widow of one of two American missionaries brutally murdered in St. Mary 4 years ago, believes the absence of any deterrence and a lack of confidence in the judicial system are at the heart of Jamaica's crime problem. Harold Nichols, 53, and Randy Enzel, 48, were shot and chopped to death in a horrific killing that made international headlines. A lack of confidence in the constabulary force means there's no community trust in the laws that are supposed to protect the citizens, Terry said last week. I still can't wrap my brain around a foreign citizen being murdered in cold blood and nothing is done about it. I can't imagine the pain Jamaicans feel over losing loved ones to violence, and then to make it worse, have no hope for justice. Despite the national decline in murders and shootings, several police divisions, including St. Andrew North and St. Ann, have seen an uptick in both categories. Conversely, traditional hotspots like St. Andrew South, St. James and Clarendon have seen a fall-off in homicides and shootings, due largely to the states of emergency imposed by the government. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.